Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go play with my shiny math rocks.
The way you specifically say this sounds like the classic, like nice guy style mall ninja. Like if you were trying to get nice guy mall ninja shit,
while you
translate
play
it into board
Minecraft.
games.
So yeah,
While you play
Minecraft
video
and other video
games,
games, I play
I'm going to
professional games.
play Dungeons and Dragons, a real game.
for real
God.
gamers.
Well, when you
Real
say
game
it,
is
well, when you
extreme.
say it like,
Oh no.
Okay.
Yep, this is gonna be a shit show today.
Of course it is.
Oh boy, we're gonna have fun.
we have no idea what we're doing.
Exactly.
Because it's session 40. Also,
Nice.
I crunch. I'm guessing that's your Kirai individual?
Yes.
Yes. Gotcha. So yeah, now he can
Crunchy,
watch,
crunchy
and now he
skeleton.
knows. Now he knows that you were bullshitting. That you just made us some sort of excuse, like, oh, got a D&D.
Hey, session 40. Let's go.
Session fucking 40. Congratulations. You reached the quarter milestone of this campaign.
Seriously?
We're only
We're
a
gonna stop
fourth.
after 120?
Hell yeah.
Just, I mean, it depends on
160
the.
or whatever.
Alright.
It depends on what you wanna do.
Nah. We're gonna stop after 420.
No, like a quarter, so 160, so 3 years worth of D&D. But I mean, time will tell. Time will tell, I guess. Oh
We'll see.
god. I don't know why, but my entire thing is super fucking pixelated.
I know. I'm seeing it too,
Mhm.
Why though?
and it keeps moving.
Yeah,
Oh,
even though
slowly.
it's a
slowly.
oh,
Is it fixing itself?
I
Or
don't
is it-
know.
Yeah,
I'm
it
trying
is.
to figure out what the fuck is going on. Okay, now
Ah!
it's
I broke my computer. I shouldn't have gone full screen. Fuck!
It was
Fuck!
looking kinda
Fuck!
pixely
Fuck!
there for a second. It's looking solid now.
yeah.
Ah!
So, a lot of stuff happened in the past week. Finished Pathfinder, finished Dead Space 1 and 2. Now tomorrow's gonna be free.
Alien Isolation.
Oh yes, also Alien Isolation. I'm basically speedrunning my Spoopy Tober. That's what I decided to call it.
Did
Also-
Crunch just say he judged us? How dare he?
This is
Oh,
D&D. You can't judge
yes.
someone. with
Yes,
D&D.
he's gonna fucking he has Matthew Mercer on his fucking dial. He's just gonna snitch on us.
Listen, Matt Mercer wouldn't throw
D&D
pool
section.
noodles at us, would he?
I mean, I'll be honest. Technically, Matthew Mercer can be quite a bit of a rule lawyer, but
Funny?
I guess no rule lawyer.
The guy is going to be running a third campaign. Of course, he's a rules.
Yeah.
But that's the job of a DM, though.
Unpopular opinion.
some
Mercer's
senses.
a prattling twat.
You're speaking to one.
He's not a
You're
background
speaking to
DM.
one of the only DMs right now who genuinely hasn't read all of the rule books.
I haven't
So
either.
I haven't even touched the D&D book.
yeah, I was referencing you there.
Of course.
Unpopular opinion.
I've read the
Mercer's a
books.
prattling twat.
Front to back,
Suddenly, it
um,
all
a
makes
multitude
sense.
of times. So
Yes. I don't even have a prepared material. I basically just
YOLO.
No, I basically look around my room and like lever.
well, this city is now called Chair.
No, it's Kahir, basically.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's a variation of chair.
Yes, with you know.
Yeah. Just
Quick question: what is the Lithuanian word for chair?
Kide.
Could you repeat that?
Kide.
Kid?
Okay.
K.
So you sit on kids?
No.
Kide.
K-E-D.
Kid. Kid.
Basically.
Kid.
I was for the first second I was understanding Käse, which is the German word for
Crunchy?
cheese.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Oh no.
Yeah.
How did he get here?
Because
Who
there's
invited
there's a Discord link that you have at
Shit, we got an intruder.
him? No.
It's fine.
Destroy him!
If he says anything, I'm literally just gonna mute him.
What?
Happy bird.
I'm offended.
Yeet.
We shall eat his
Then
soul.
be
for
offended.
dinner.
And he's muted.
He's
Don't worry,
Sorry,
Crunchy.
This is our shit.
It is
Yeah, my
our
friend.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
We
Got
don't
it.
want to confuse the audience.
Nah. Also,
If
Well,
there's one.
you never
We have
know.
5 players, a dungeon master, and a fucking music bot. So
Yeah.
guess that's not confusing enough.
Oh boy.
Well, I am noticeable enough as my own character. My voice is unique.
Don't worry.
And
Don't
also,
worry,
and
Crunchy.
also our things glows.
Don't worry,
So.
Crunchy. I'll unmute you when the session is over.
So in roughly 3 to 4 hours.
Yes, maybe 6, depending on the circumstance.
I would have It would have been completely legitimate if he would have just left after I said that.
I will.
I
His
even
choice.
did warn him. It was about to be like 4 hour.
He
Shall we
rejoined.
start?
He rejoined. Thinking it's gonna be. Ah,
Persistence.
yeah.
Admirable,
Determination.
but not really useful.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Give me.
Can we start?
Give me a second.
He could probably be a D&D character. Hey, Mr. K.
So, what's on the
Grr,
agenda
Mr.
for
Key.
today?
Oh yes, the agenda. Session 40. You survived.
Sailing.
Across the sea.
That's one part of the agenda. Maybe not formulated like that, but I guess
Well, it
you're
depends on
correct.
if the island goes magic poof or not.
Right, Lecter.
Okay. We will see what will happen. For now, I guess this is a... Not yet. We still got 30 seconds.
Oh boy.
So, quick, have it.
Hey, let's all meditate.
Sailing
Let's all meditate.
across
Bees.
the
Saying bees.
It's going to see a raise.
Ah.
A long ass
So-
30 seconds, and now we're good.
Oh god. So.
Yep, the 10 minutes are now over.
And everybody fucking left. Let's go. So. Give me a second.
We fucked up.
Something's wrong.
Of
I feel
course.
it. Okay. So. Session 40. Welcome. Oh god. I shouldn't said beast for so long. Oh. So. I guess head count is in order, but since everybody fucking beat, everybody's here. So.
I guess everyone's on the beat.
So.
Uh,
Last we left off, you basically harvested the foot of a dragon, and everybody with their own little parts that requested personally. Kilroy went inside the ancient black dragon's stomach and fished out quite a lot of relics that he found at the bottom of its stomach, but at a cost of burning his hand severely. Then you got to meet this little interesting individual, creature, whatever, in a form of a literal manifestation of tree branches, who informed you about a potential trial coming for one of the individuals you met, the High Chief Druid that you met only a few days ago, and asked for your assistance to basically vouch or just say a good few words in his regard. So, besides that, yeah, you got yourself the whole foot, got yourself a nice little small warehouse type of place that you put the foot in. And before deciding your next move, Lectors, I guess we can call the Geiger counter of arcane variety start ticking off. That he forgot that he had all this time, which basically indicates of a higher usage of magic. And the main usage of this little built-in relic of that is to notify if a potential island might just go and vanish from the material plane. So, Lecter, as the most cool-headed individual, said, "Everybody get the fuck into the ship and fuck
Nice
off."
that was the cool part about it.
No, the coldly calculated Lecter said for everybody to get the fuck on the ship and leave, and that pretty much does it. As you're kind of just sailing away from the island. Well, technically you're still in the vicinity of the island, but you're kind of in one of those riverbeds. Sailing away, basically back in the way you were originally going, back westward. So, with that being said and done, let me just quickly do
Weren't we supposed to get a bigger boat?
At least for right now, I wouldn't recommend getting close to the shore. It doesn't seem like a good idea, depending on whether the island might disappear or not.
Didn't your arm thing beep intensely and constantly? With it?
It went off once. A pulse could either be a warning or just, well, a strong pulse of high magic. In case it was literally just high magic, I guess we will see. I would recommend staying out here at sea for at least a few more hours. I guess we can take this time to, on one side, document what we got out of this. Where's 404 right now? Sorry, Omnius?
Well, last thing you told him to do was start moving all the dragon bits, so he's doing that.
yeah, bits by bits, moving somewhere that he deems is safe from prying eyes of everyone.
Savannah's basement.
I took everything I could carry for short drag lift and booked it. He's taking just the last pieces, which is, I think, like what, third of it.
Give me a second.
If you don't mind me, I'm gonna go review the quality of these pieces.
Feel free to do so. I think we have quite a few of them now. This should suffice for quite a while.
Yep.
On the other side, though, now that we have such a large amount of draconic materials, I think at least a part of it can be used to afford an upgrade. I'm just like roughly gesturing around towards the whole ship. And now that we are more or less forced into sitting in the same boat for a few hours, I would say it's a good time for a meeting. At least, concluding what exactly would be of interest for a new ship.
This place has been getting a bit cramped as of recent.
Certainly.
Ooh! Listen to this. The average length of an LOA of common production monohull sailboats is 30 feet. I have 30 feet of dragon wing webbing.
Sounds about right. Okay. We'll keep that in mind for now. Well, in that case, since Omnius doesn't seem to be here right now, I would say we wait until he actually arrives on the ship again. After that, I would propose getting together for an idea.
So, Omnius, I just have a quick question. So how many parts and pieces of the dragon's foot are you trying to just teleport out?
All of them, and I'm putting them in different places. And I'm currently typing up exactly where all of those are.
Well, smaller pieces like the scales that you can tear off, and bits and pieces of skin, broken pieces of bone and claw.
I
That
mean, we
needs
took it apart mostly.
The
And for
bones, I
larger
think,
pieces,
would be at
just
the
a
very
bunch of
least
stuff.
cut in half for easier
Nah,
carrying.
we didn't really do anything with the bones. We just like kind of stripped it off.
Yeah, because bone
He's
is very
hiding them
useful.
away.
Bone is useful.
It is useful.
Yep.
Certainly interested in what he's going to do with it. Guess we will find out soon.
Who, me?
No, just in general, what we could do with
Oh.
stuff like bone.
I heard
Also,
he.
our access to move the larger pieces, I planned on casting enlarge on myself and giving me a minute to move back and forth.
Alrighty.
Move the larger bits.
Large Omnius sounds huge.
Alrighty. Alrighty. So it takes a good less than a minute takes you to just get pieces bit by bit out of like the entire dragon, because you basically just bam, go to one place, drop it, go back, pick it up, go other place, drop it, and just repeat it for the whole minute. And by the end of the minute, you before your large spell finishes, you basically distributed the dragon's foot that you carved out, or the claw, I guess. No, wait. Yeah, but yeah, you basically.
toe.
Well, not even a
Bigger.
toe. Yeah.
More than a toe. A lot more.
A toe and half a hand?
No, a hand.
So,
Do you need one?
Distribute those appropriately across all the different locations that I gave you.
alrighty.
Make sure that I've got all the stuff cleaned up out of our little
Storage
like
room.
hut area. And I guess go back to the boat. Probably covered in a fair amount of dragon viscera.
There's this like thickish, and like nasty smelling liquid all over you just from the carrying. It doesn't sting you, but it looks disgusting. As Omnius technically Omnius when coming back to the ship, the first thing you all notice is the sudden coloration of armor from the usual brownish red that you see in him always to now just this blackish, greenish sludge that it occasionally starts to just bubble.
Fear me, I am the swamp monster. Hey guys, how you doing? I really could use a bath.
I'm sorry.
Do you need some help with that? I mean, there are some quick options.
You know what? No, hold on. If he just jumps overboard.
I was gonna say, let's just press the digitate all over him.
That would have been my option.
Yeah,
He's gonna sink a few hundred feet and then teleport back onto the ship.
I mean, it's not a deep place. It's like good 40 to 60 feet. So it takes you less than a round. Just at the bottom, you see a bunch of fish that are scared, just swimming away from you. And everybody from above, you just see quite a few smaller fish just kind of rise, dead, as the ooze
Full
covering,
circle.
and you see them slightly getting like disintegrated by this greenish.
We might want to move the boat away
The
from
circle of
that.
life.
On the topic of damage of the vehicle, now that everyone's assembled, I think it would be about time for some conversation. I actually like it here, so I would say we do it here on deck. Quickly look for something.
I think I'd be in the other part of the boat,
So,
counting the loot.
alrighty. So, everybody is present. So every single companion of the party and of the ship is present. Unless you want someone to not be present.
Zan, this is a private meeting. Get out of here.
Throws him off the boat.
No, I'm just kidding, buddy. You can hang out.
Zan is like one of the only people we definitely need because he's going to be like 3/4 of the crew.
So, you all are on the main deck. Everybody's gathered.
I think I would move together like a few barrels and use hallucinatory terrain to make them look like stools around a big table. I'm literally recreating that meeting scene from a few episodes ago,
Oh boy.
including the signs.
Knights of the Illusionary Table.
And yeah, you make yourself a nice, but a bit how to say this? It's nice to have a table with the chairs, but it's getting quite a bit of crowd because it's not a free space on the ship. Not to mention, you're kind of slowly sailing, so. But despite
I'm letting
that,
the elves work in the meantime. The important people are us, everyone who's commonly following us around in combat, and Jack.
Alrighty.
Tries to put a mug on the table. It falls through. Fuck.
No.
Yep,
Oh yeah. Also,
it's hallucinatory terrain.
also the cards
Oh,
immediately gets just swept away by like a sudden shift in the waves. Just like.
Well, that didn't work. Anyway, let's just continue.
God damn it.
So, as this current situation definitely shows,
We have a table in the food hall. Seriously.
looking around, it's quite crowded around here, and some of the members in this group have proposed the idea of solving that problem by upgrading to a bigger ship. Asking the captain, ideally a representative of the current crew and additional crew, looking at Zan, Jack, and ideally at least one of the elves. What is your opinion on this matter?
Danny immediately just says, "Well, I definitely need a bigger ship than this. The one by the dock was nice, but it's currently occupied. Then again, there's also
Dragon
that
scales are valuable.
Yeah, but there's going to be a boom in their economy with that, so they're gonna go down in value.
Depends on how fast we're buying power.
I don't think they would have enough gold, would they? Gold, I mean.
We just have to be fast enough to arrive there before they get worthless.
Jack just looks at you like, well, as long as it's coming from your pocket, I'm in full capacity to manning it and acquiring more crew if need be.
I may have a way to provide an alternate form of negotiating power than the dragon scales. You may have noticed my collection out there.
Your what?
All the dead body bits.
Oh, God. Speaking of, don't you have a time limit on that?
Yeah, I should be going back over to get the rest of that here fairly soon. Oh, they'll be fine. They'll hold up for a little while.
It's
Lecter.
certainly one option to earn some additional income that could be used for this purpose.
Well, I just sort of felt like it might be a great bargaining chip to perhaps renegotiate the price of a larger vessel.
Renegotiation in the sense of almost necromantic hostage taking, or just classic, we're doing this for a cheaper price then?
I wouldn't necessarily call it hostage taking. Let's be blunt, it's extortion.
Good point.
Favor for a favor? No?
I mean, clearly it's extortion.
Yeah, right. Now, what are we gonna do with this ship? If we do get a bigger ship?
There's a multitude of options. I mean, at least from what I'm understanding, it's not a bad ship per se. It still definitely serves its purpose, so I assume we could sell it off, or at least trade it in for something.
It would be a good tactical advantage to have two ships, should we come across something in these waters.
The question is,
technically
how cumbersome is
speaking,
it going to be to
technically
carry
we
around
have
this
two
ship
captains,
as-
don't we?
But
We have
also
Zan
maintenance
and
upkeep.
Jack. That is also true. Also, the chickens I think are gonna start a revolt. They want more space.
Plus, well, to be fair, one of the crew would potentially be a ghost, a literal ghost crew.
Zan immediately shoots his eyes towards you, Ken. You got a problem with that?
No, just saying that it wouldn't allocate as many resources as a live living crew. No offense to everybody else.
Just means less waste.
It would certainly be practical to have this secondary ship pretty much on standby all the time.
Question: does your ghost cruise and need anything, like a party or something, lift up their spirits? Sorry, pun. Or are they
I
mindless?
actually rather like that.
Not mindless, but also not really needy.
So, if anything they need, what would they need?
A ship to start with.
They're basically free interns.
Fit. Okay, you see
I think
it
in
like
this
that.
current time, that's called slavery.
He's not wrong. Listen, I had my fair share of slave when I was a clan leader, but it wasn't particularly nice for them. Yeah.
Slowly
Anyways.
switching around the small signs on the table, head of human resources over to Rog.
I wouldn't do that.
Who's the current head of human resources? Like, no joke.
Listen. We had
We didn't have one
reading
after
slaves and we had working slaves. Okay, not that fancy for human culture.
Okay. Anyway.
So, oh boy.
Yeah.
Instead of saying human dealer, just say slave dealer.
Or
I
just,
prefer to
or
look
just,
at it as
or just say feudal interns. Just feudal interns. That
I
works.
prefer to look at it as incredibly cost-effective labor.
Can we switch from slavery to something a little bit more proactive?
Of course. Requirements. I assume one of the main factors why we need a different ship is, of course, size. So, therefore, generally proposing to get a bigger ship is the general starting point. Is there anything else that is 100% required, or at least wished for?
You're
Depending on what.
I think everything is. Wait, you're asking him. Never mind.
Are you asking Zan or asking everybody?
Everybody.
Working space is an obvious one.
What kind of working space?
Well,
I
having a
mean-
forge would be nice. Or
I'm pointing
dental.
over to the owl and the anvil that's currently aboard.
The owl is meant for cooking, not for smithing.
I'm just going to put it
could
out
be
there
for-
right now. Whatever ship we get, I would very much like to have a tree on it for reasons.
You know, a tree wouldn't be too bad. A garden space. Now that would be useful. We could grow our own food.
I just specifically need a tree.
Because if we can grow our own food on a ship, we will not have scurvies, I can tell you that.
Omnius, about that. A quick question. I'm using minor illusion to summon up the image of like a bonsai tree.
No, like a tree. Okay, so it's not really for me, because I can teleport
Of course.
anywhere I need to be. It needs to be big enough for you, like when I point to Rog, probably you to walk into. Like literally inside of.
You know what? We could actually use that as a mast if we really wanted to. You know, tree
I
Depends.
mast.
like this idea.
I mean, I assumed we would make some modifications on it anyway.
Yeah. Just trim a few branches, put a very big stick through it, and a sail. Think you're done.
Omnius,
With
about
additional
that.
sail.
So if we
Now
get
that
a
you guys are
massive
talking about
white
the tree, I'm
pine, they
thinking
generally
that
grow
tree.
fairly straight.
How well
was that
can you
for?
control wooden growth, Omnius?
Oh, to be honest, fairly well.
In that case, that may be a legitimate option.
I was just saying, now that you guys are on the topic of the tree, I'm just thinking, I wonder where that tree is now.
The orange tree.
Speaking of, I don't remember. Did I see the orange tree?
The last I heard of the orange tree, it had sunk to the bottom of the ocean, taking 5 of my hives with it.
You know, speaking of a giant freaking tree, why don't we just make our own ship? It would take a lot of time. That is true, though. But
Mostly expenses.
You can,
yeah,
you can see immediately as you make that suggestion, Rog. Zan whips out a knife and then kind of looks over Kilrai.
Not this time.
listen, a living wood tree would. I don't know how that would work, but that sounds interesting enough. That's only an idea, though.
It'd probably take a few more druids than just me. And I'm going to be brutally honest, with how the discussion that I just had with the Archdruid went, they very much are not going to want to discuss anything with me.
You have. Do you do this often?
Well, whenever the opportunity presents itself.
You should think about making allies, not enemies.
Why?
Advantage.
Because the less people trying to kill us, the better.
And also advantages. Having someone like you is a fair way to get something in return. For absolutely the price of 0.
Yeah, but that guy is such a prattling twat.
Sometimes
Your
you gotta
presence
pretend
grating.
to like somebody.
Why?
Do you really want a lesson in diplomacy? Nobody likes each other, but they still do it for
I
beneficial.
prefer shotgun diplomacy.
What is a shotgun? Oh wait, that thing that Cat had?
Yes, that.
Speaking of, I think we left him somewhere, or he left.
He's
Oh,
on-
Tomago.
Somewhere on the
he's
island.
Yeah, he's in Green Shade. He's chilling. He's minding his own business. He has his own stuff to do.
Well, I think it's safe to say he left us.
Oh, Ken, would you like to work on the big stick sometime? I'd still like to see if we could make that work.
It's gonna take a while before we get to that stick thing. You saw what happened last time. Not exactly inclined to do that.
Well, consider it. I still feel like that would be a worthwhile endeavor in the not-too-distant future. Lecter, you've heard about the Big Stick project, right?
I haven't.
So Jay just kind of scratches his head.
Wait, hold up.
I thought this was talk about boats, not sticks.
I
Oh,
assume
yeah,
we can
yeah.
continue this part of the conversation later.
Yeah,
So-
so, ship. I have, what is it? 1, 2, 3. I think I still have 800,000 gold, just about. So I have that.
Lots of funds still in
Oh,
acceptable
no.
currency, as well as a bunch of dragon scales.
No, I'll have 7,500. Yep, just about that. That's what I have.
Wonderful.
So, do you have any solutions to your requirements, or are you putting this on my shoulders to find out for you?
Who's currently talking?
Jack.
Well,
Who here
I
knows the
assume there would
quality
be-
of a boat?
I assume there would be some kind of portmaster.
I
screen shade.
know a few, but specifics are needed.
Very big ship. I'd say,
Would I know?
like the one in
roll me,
port.
Roll me a history check, Kirai.
And again, I would like to talk with the marshal after negotiating getting some of his people taken care of, and then we can
Dirty
discuss boat
20.
prices.
So, from the pure south side of Dor, which is the basic coastline from west to east, multiple dozen port cities are present. Plenty of people who are willing to commission a new boat. Do you know anybody specific though? No, you would not.
Alright.
Honestly, I think Zan and Jack would be the best to scout out new ships because they have literally the knowledge for it. I think they would be appropriate for pricing
Zan kind of
and
squints
negotiation.
his eyes and kind of rubs his beard a bit between his fingers. LNG with ships, yes. Shipbuilding, not really.
Not for shipbuilding, but for ship buying. It would be the faster method.
All he did was pillage. What do you expect?
I do have to agree with that part. The quickest way to acquire a new ship is stealing one. But I assume that's not the path that the Platinum Seals
I
would like to
Don't
be the
think we
outright.
want to make enemies, Lecter.
I agree. That's why I'm recommending to not do that.
Hey,
If
look,
Omnia spots a
that's-
ship, then it's gonna just take
Omnius.
over.
Omnius. We
I mean,
have a
potentially we.
simple. We have a simple mindset of don't fuck with people you don't need to fuck with. Simple as that.
Like our last
What,
ship
can we take that statement and go to before we landed on the island when we totally mindfucked that crew?
That's what I was trying to go
Oh,
back.
that ship.
I was not there. I'm sure.
You were.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
Oh,
He
I
came here
wasn't.
afterwards.
Yep.
This came in the session
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
he was on board.
At
though.
the end.
He saw the ship. He saw the crew leaving. He asked.
I had
about
to
it.
swim to the ship.
No, you swim to the shore to get on a ship.
Sure enough.
So decisions need to be made.
Well then.
So how
I
long
assume
would it
this
take
is-
if we grow our own ship?
So here's the thing. Just out of like above the table, as you like to say, you didn't specify anything except forge and big ship, and not even like How many
Well, we need
stories?
we. I think of Lictor. I think a 3-story ship, long enough to have a garden, a forge, some decent like what was
Living quarters?
living quarters.
Take for a tree to
Obviously,
grow into a ship.
I assume if we're upgrading to this degree, it would be reasonable
bathrooms.
to.
Bathrooms.
Sure, why not?
Why-
I assume
why-
it would be reasonable to say that at
Large
least
storage room.
us would receive individual, or at least separated rooms. I mean, there will still be
Partially
crew halls.
separated because
Yes.
I think the crew would be kind of jealous, wouldn't they?
Mhm. Partially separated. Let's stick with that.
Yeah.
Zan, you mentioned something regarding some certain ships you saw earlier, right? What do you think? Would it be possible to acquire such a ship, and how problematic would it be to use a ship of that specific size and type?
Me and my crew single-handedly probably could manage it.
Okay.
When it comes to sailing, defending, using cannons. Not really use against invading forces unless they're dead.
Speaking of cannons, the amount of gunpowder and cannonballs required for such a thing would be very costly, wouldn't it? If we are to make our own, the material itself would be a pain in the ass to acquire.
But if we're gonna scuttle or leave the ship that we currently have behind, might as well use these cannons as well.
Fair enough. Now then. So,
If you say that such a ship could be managed, and at least as far as I can take from your statements, there wouldn't be extreme disadvantages to using such a type. Therefore, I would propose Sinch. Sorry?
He
Yeah?
kind of extends his finger. Traveling against the wind would be extremely slow, but we would also have really bad maneuverability, but we would have insane amount of firepower, provided cannons and the gunpowder with ammunition are provided.
Well, traveling against the wind will be annoying, but at least with the combination of the abilities of Kira and me, and Omnius, of course, I think water and wind will bend to our will.
hey, that kind of rhymed.
How long would it
Poetic,
take
even.
for us to grow a tree to the size of the ship that we want?
I think in that case, Omnius would be the expert.
Well, first we gotta get a tree to slightly grow.
I think it would be ideal to take the tree and pretty much use the original mast as like a cast. To have the tree grow around the original mast, so we don't even have to replace it to begin with.
That too, but
I hate
use
how
the roots
efficient
as
magic
the
is.
wall.
So
Sorry, Kira, could you repeat that?
Omnis, I'm guessing you're gonna the first thing you're gonna do is ask me what are the possibilities about trees growing into ships.
Oh no, I figured we'd just cross that bridge when we come to it.
Ah.
It'll either work or it'll be a spectacular failure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, controlled growth. I've seen some gardens with very weird trees shaped like chairs or even...
Okay, Omnius, I'm just gonna give you one thing, just one smidgen that you would know immediately. Probably would also Lector and Kilroy as a common sense. Some types of wood or trees are more durable than others, and others are durable and magical.
Yeah, I mean, I figure there'd be a selection process for the type of tree we'd want to go with, and
Well,
we could get to there.
And since we have an expert on nature with us, I would at least I would propose that the expert on nature would decide which kind of wood would be used.
yeah, but then at the same time, I'm looking at the person that pulled out the dagger and looked at me.
I
So
don't
how
think
big
it's a
can a
good
tree
idea to grow a
grow?
never-orange tree as
Dan just kind of shrugs. I don't know how fast it would grow, but it grew fast enough.
I just hope it won't overgrow us.
It didn't seem like I wasn't there, but from what I heard, it didn't stop growing.
No, it did not stop growing. It became basically like a large blockade. Eventually, just got into open sea that Omnia saw, and then got submerged by something. So yeah, it's up to you to decide.
I think the tree part can, like I said, if we were to do it, like for example, a cast around the original mast, it would be reasonable to have this be a problem for later.
Yeah,
The choice
we can
of
work on that. Another time.
the choice of ship would be the first part. Reinforcements, like for example, for the work area, can be arranged then. So in that case, I would propose we would get a look, ideally, a look at one of their ships and see whether one can be commissioned or sold, or traded in, depending on what they are looking for.
So a
Are we
good
opposed to the?
A good half an hour has passed since you had the discussion. You slowly are moving towards west. Wind is not fully in your favor, but you're making quite a way. And the island lecture that you just got from with the crew, it's still there.
Good.
Good.
We kind of need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the one side, it means that my arcane counter did not act. Well, like the sensor did not pick up the island actually disappearing. On the other side, it means that some kind of powerful magic has been used here.
So we can go back.
Yes, but be
Cool.
aware there's something or someone incredibly powerful on this island currently that is strong enough to cast magic that is picked up by this.
Do you think it's him?
Maybe.
Anyways, I think first things first. We should probably go get ourselves some booze at the inn to relax our minds.
That's one
And
way
then-
to start the evening.
And then we could talk more about ships.
You say it's evening. It's actually still quite like it's midday somewhere. Remember, you literally woke up at like 4 a.m. It's
For a battle.
Yeah.
I think it's reasonable that our time perception currently is a bit like, well,
Borked.
miscalculated.
Well, come on now.
Yeah. I'm not sure how an internal clock works, but I can
First we'll
quickly tell you that it's not late enough for a drink yet, at least according to common sense.
No, Lecter. By the way, how about this for a little plan? We try money first, then we go for Omnius's extortion and the bargaining, and if neither of that work, we try to grow the freaking boat. We have a small order. What do you think? Did I miss a part?
It seems like a reasonable start if Omnius agrees with it. He's pretty much the bartering chip for option 2, so
That's if they care enough about their loved ones.
As far as I understand humans, that would sound reasonable.
I'm sure those who had families would be delighted.
And if they're willing to pay, they can have them back.
This
Alrighty.
really does remind me of hostage taking. I learned
So-
about it in military academy.
Decide what
It's
you want to do.
extortion. Let's be very clear about
So,
this.
decide what you want to do. I'll be right back in a few seconds.
Omnius, I think the best part would be having them pay with a large ship.
Well, I mean, I didn't specify exactly how they were going to pay. First, we've got to get to the part where they're willing first. I mean, if they're not willing to pay, I'll happily incinerate the remains. And then
Well,
that's an option.
If we get this ship normally through normal means such as money, we won't. You can bargain for something else. If we don't get the ship with just money, then you could start.
A quick question: who is the clientele for this resurrection
Clientele?
option of you? Like, who specifically are you targeting for this? Any specific, like, higher
I think
ups
he's
within the city, or
I
just the
think
military?
he's targeting the whole freaking island.
Well,
If
let's start
it's,
with the Marshal. He seems to be leading things.
If there are any, well, higher ups in there, I'm sure they can put in a good word for us.
Oh, hold on. I just thought of a thing. And I reach into my chest pouch and I pull out the skull of the cobbler that I was going to talk with Gavel about later. Gavel, since you're here, can we talk to this person?
Araxis is gone. He has told us this.
But now all of you, I did miss that. Now all of you, I have a skull.
Had a door
Literally
at
playing
10
Hamlet.
10 p.m. So, what is it? I heard my name.
Oh,
Omnius is reenacting Hamlet.
Ah,
I'm presenting Gavel with the skull of the dead cobbler. Gavel, can we talk to this person?
Cabble, cabble.
the he just stares at it for a moment. It looks a bit of a puzzle, and then kind of goes full neutral, and then kind of shrugs. All right. What are the questions you wish to ask?
Well, basically, I need to narrow these questions around finding out as much as I can about the Marshal and whether or not this particular individual may have had any grievances with them. Blackmail, things I can utilize against him. Yeah, things along that line.
I was sure you were gonna go for family treasure or something.
No, this is extortion. This is purely business.
I'll do one better. I'll cast a spell, and you ask the questions.
Can do. How many do I have?
3.
All right, let's do it.
It's like a genie. Only 3 wishes.
Okay. So, just a question for the rest of you, like for the rest of the group. Are you just gonna be nearby?
Nope.
No.
I'm
I'm
gonna
just
go.
watching.
I'm gonna go clean the dragon parts and maybe work on them. Make sure they're all safe for touching.
Oh, well, we can do this later then. If we I don't want to interrupt the meeting. I just need to make sure that I get this done before I go talk with the
The
Marshal.
main part of the conversation is over. If anything else is to be, well, talked about, please mention it now. Otherwise, I would conclude this meeting here.
Honestly, what I said is all I need. I'm out. I'm going lower to the kitchen to start working at cleaning these goddamn monster parts.
Head of logistics and logic absent.
Gotta add, there needs to be a glass forge.
Ooh. So, if that being said and done,
Pretty sure glass forge can be used as in the forge.
Gavel puts the head of the cobbler on one of the barrels and proceeds to what's the fucking ritual cast? Yeah. So, while he's doing that, anybody would like to do anything besides Rog scrubbing at the scales?
I'm going to wander over to the library.
You're still on the ship.
Oh, well, okay.
You're slow.
Are they?
Fortunate.
Because nobody gave to turn back. You're just like.
Hmm.
You're kind of
So
still.
all of us did, right?
Well, you're all on the ship.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna wander, make my way back to that library.
Are you gonna clean those books?
No. You're all on the ship sailing away, my dude.
We're currently on the fucking ship.
Yeah.
When are we sailing back?
Oh. Well, I mean, nobody said that you want to sail back. You're
Then
sailing.
how did Rod go and do the stuff with the dragons?
Because he's below deck.
Because we have the the dragon pieces on the ship,
Whatever.
or at least some.
Grab a handful and just run to the ship, and that's exactly what we did last session.
I grab
Yeah.
a whole
Okay.
most sack full.
So.
I'm watching Necromancy.
Okay. So the crowd disperses. Well, technically only the elves disperse. Jack goes back into cabin quarters. Zvira chills by the mast overlooking just the view of burned down forests. Zan looks intriguingly at the Gavel's casting. Gavel is ritual casting. Kirai. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Nothing like a rousing conversation with a dead man, eh?
Gotcha. Roll me persuasion check, Kirai.
Persuasion
Yeah, persuasion.
+5.
Plus 5. Yeah. So Ken, what would you like to do? Like, cause you're kind of just. Nobody even said to go back towards the green shade.
So we're not going back to the island.
I will give that command after the Necromancy. It just kind of looks fun right now.
Alrighty.
Could
Alright.
just do it while.
Hey,
Well, then I guess I'll go up to the crow's nest again until I'm needed.
Alrighty. Roll me a persuasion check, Ken. Not persuasion. Perception.
Perception.
You need to persuade your eyes to look.
I know.
With
That's what I was
advantage.
thinking.
Perception with advantage because you have those glasses.
Can't read without them.
My glasses! My glasses! I can't see without my glasses!
So I rolled a 19, so 25.
Oh my fucking yeah. The coast is fucking clear, but the upper, like the crow's nest is still, there's like pockets of ash that are kind of just wet and clumpy. But overlooking the whole place, you see that the majority of the forest of the island that inhabits Green Shades has been burned down, with no life actually going. You basically can see almost the entire island from where you are to the actual other side of the island and parts of the sea. Through the
Whoa,
burn.
that's gonna be a big boo-boo to heal.
There's a few pockets that survived, but the majority, like good 88% of the whole forest that you didn't saw like anything. Now it's just either just burned out and just collapsed, or just literally charred pieces of wood standing still dead.
That was one fucked up ecosystem.
You're telling me. Yeah. So, a few minutes pass and Gavel finishes his incantation. immediately the skin of the cobbler gets this darker shade of gray for a second, and then you just immediately see its eyes open wide and just kind of dull for a bit, and you see it has this some sort of reflex to breathe for a second and just kind of stays like responsive. And when Gavel just finishes his casting, he kind of looks at you ominous and kind of gives you like this like go ahead motion with his hand.
Greetings, my dead friend. Have a few questions for you. I'll cut straight to the point. No fluff. I need information on the Marshal. So, let's start with the obvious. How do you feel about this particular individual? Has he done a good job?
There's a moment of pause, and then he is reckless but just. As you see, it's trying to breathe air like deeply, but it's just getting nothing. And there's just this sudden suction motion to the barrel. So yeah, that's one question.
Gotta think of the next one second. How do I phrase it? These phrasings are very important. Do you know of any ways he's opened himself up to retaliation using his own rules?
There's a sudden pause. Majority of refugees hate him, but they understand. The law is brutal, but simple, fair.
Who are some of his most powerful enemies?
I would like you to roll me a perception check. Not persuasion, perception.
Involving sound?
Yes. That's
only a 19.
You for a moment see a flicker of sadness, as if the old cobbler suddenly is gonna portray something dear to him. But he speaks out nonetheless. His own self is the greatest. And then immediately as he says the final phrase, he just drops, well, just immediately all the life that was kind of still hanging in the balance in there for a moment just dissipates. And the whole head becomes lifeless once more.
Omnius reaches out and he flicks him lightly on the forehead, and with disgust in his voice says, "Well, that last bit was fucking useless. Thank you."
You just get the immediate bunk, like there's nothing.
Just flick the dead guy.
Just flick it to the fishes.
No, not the cobbler. You could use him as. Oh no.
So yeah.
Did you actually flick him to the fishes?
Yes.
I actually did.
God damn it.
So the cobbler said it goes off the board into the.
Oh no, lightly flicked him, like
Oh.
like you flick somebody in the nose.
No, yeah, no. But the Rock said that. Did you
Off
like?
the boat.
Yeah.
Oh no, not
Yeah.
off the boat.
Okay.
I still flicked him.
Thank God.
I couldn't hear you, my dude.
So yeah, the head is now silent, and everybody just kind of staring at it for a moment, and then Jan immediately breaks the air, just saying, "Oh, that was disappointing."
Tell me
With
about
that now completed, how about now that it seems a bit safer again, we return back to back to the port to, well, take a look at what may soon be our new ship.
Sounds fair. I need to go talk with Savannah. I'll be back.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Remember the lady, the elven lady that you saw fucking the king yesterday, Omnius, or last week?
Yeah,
Omnius?
whom I placed a tail on if or
Yes.
She's
damn it!
She is now talking to Xana in the outside the palace of the king.
what are
You
they
see?
saying?
Oh boy, how close you wanna go?
I can read lips.
Can read lips. Alrighty. You can
Thank
see
you, observant
you
feet.
can see Xana. Xana is kind of annoyed, displeased with her, while the elven girl is quite pleased with herself and a bit smug about her. Uh, Basically, what the dialogue comes down to is Xana being really fucking displeasing for fucking with a royal subject, and that's not the meaning how to gather intel. Which the elven girl returns that it's a special type of way of getting information and the most effective way for a lone noble alone in the middle of the sea, surrounded by nothing but the enemies.
Question, DM.
Uh-huh.
Can I record with my bees?
No, you can't.
Damn.
Yeah.
But can you remember enough for a hologram?
No.
How far is that? Do I have any bees in the vicinity that are like around the corner and nearby?
Yes, you get quite a few bees that are chilling by, like leaves and grass, just kind of chilling nearby, 10 to 15 feet.
Okay, two things. First, cast detect magic on myself.
Uh-huh.
I gotta see. I don't think that's concentration, is it? Yes, it is. Okay, so we'll start with detect magic, and then I'm gonna bee teleport to one of the bees that's like around a corner but nearby, out of eyesight, and peek around the corner and see if I see. Well, first look around and see if I see any scrying orbs, and then peek around the corner and see if I see any scrying orbs.
Okay. So.
I'm far enough away that my bee buzzing shouldn't cause me disadvantage. I'm not within audio distance.
So. Well, casting the magic first of all.
But I can request. Ooh, doggy.
Well, you, my good sir, you see that there is no scrying orbs in the ship or in the vicinity you teleport to, but when you turn around the corner, you see that Xana is already gone, and you see there's the sly, smug smile from the elven lady. She is maybe in her early 20s. She has blonde, long.
2000s.
She has long blonde hair, quite fit figure, and she wears similar attire like Xana, but looks like it's like of a high ranking, but a different section of the Platinum Seas.
Well, since the conversation's over and there's not any more I can get from that, I'll just go ahead and teleport over to the market side of town and putz around, act like I'm doing, market business. Like humans.
Oh, see a hole.
The fuck?
I'll have to keep an eye on her and try to put myself in a position to get some better recordings next time they decide to discuss these sensitive topics.
Oh boy. But what are you gonna do in the market?
I guess I just putz around and act like I'm going to buy things until Savannah is ready for me to stop by and get the oil.
Okay. Roll me. You don't even need to roll perception.
I was going to ask what exactly would escape my sight.
I was about to say. You basically got to look around, at people selling guns, but they won't sell to you because you're not actually a citizen of Norn. But then you're the hero of Norn, so if you really want to, people just it's a busy morning. People are discussing the weather that was kind of troublesome, the general just day-to-day life for each individual people, a lot of gossip between themselves. Nothing related that would pique your interest. You come across the anvil where you saw way in the middle of the
arm wrestling anvil.
Yeah. You see two individuals arm wrestling. Just two teenagers just trying to duke out with a small crowd of other teenagers also cheering on one or other side, and you kind of just see Blip on the side of the anvil, just kind of sitting and just observing silently with a smile.
I gotta remember which one's Blip.
Xana's I guess husband, the warlock.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yes.
Killed the giant moth in one spell.
Oh boy.
Do I have anything I need to say to him?
Fuck you, please.
Please don't.
Renegade.
No, I can't think of anything, honestly. I tried.
Okay.
Why would you make so many enemies?
Bold of you to assume I was going to try to make him my enemy.
Exactly.
I assume many things, but I also assume what I feel would be appropriate for the.
No, what would be very appropriate, and Omnius is trying to figure out how to do, is how to sow the seeds of dissent between him and his wife, and potentially lead to a bit of a domestic dispute down the line.
Wow.
You cannot dissuade true love that easily. Besides, if they find out you're behind it, yeah, we're dead.
Well, I mean, I'm dead.
Oh god. But yeah.
You try.
Lecter, I assume you gave the order to turn back. Yeah. So takes a good 20 or so minutes to get back to Green Shade. Well, yeah, kinda just like you come back to the port, and you can see quite a few people on the docks observing and trying to scavenge the ships that basically drowned in the invasion and try to basically salvage what they can. Also try to get some sort of fishing going, but as you can see by the empty nets and the empty buckets, nothing is catching. Yeah.
How did my thing go, Eric's?
Oh, yes. So, do you remember the middle page of the book?
Yes.
So basically that happened, and that's how that's the origin. That's how moments after that happened, just they're there, and nothing else was told. Um, so so uh, who go where? Cause Ken said you wanted to go to the library. I don't know if he wants to go still.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Lector, Rock, Kirai,
Definitely the port.
the port. Well, I mean, you are at the port, but you are at the port, but the port is literally
Yeah,
just
checking out the bigger ships, looking for someone who looks like he's important.
well,
Well,
technically.
Why not let's just talk to the 3 people that we talked to last time that
Well,
called us for
here's the thing. There's no one really looking important at the dock. Everybody looks like they're just fishing for their next lunch or dinner. Yeah. There's no like the port is closed. First of all, there wasn't even like a port to begin with. There was like really shoddy, easily broken buildings that are already like half of them been burned, half of them were destroyed. There's really not much to look for. The ships are still there. Quite a few have been burned, like badly. A lot of them lost their um, sails. The one that is like the biggest one is still standing in the same condition as before, unaffected by flames.
I'm just standing there for a while, just looking at the ship and like some of the other ones. Are there any people nearby that are like managing something like quartermasters or something?
Well, there's I would say good like 30 to 40 people by the shore, by the coast in the port, just trying to salvage the ships and catch some food. Besides that, the port, the entry to the city is literally just barren and nothing. There's nothing.
Araxis,
I guess finding some people
Yes.
deep somewhere.
do I roll to craft a mask? Well, speaking, Zvita, is she still horribly disfigured?
Uh, actually no,
No.
no.
Never mind then.
Which is awkward, but no, she's not.
Well, that's one thing down the drain. Well, I'm just cleaning stuff up, cleaning materials, I guess.
Okay. So basically, what you're basically doing is washing scales that are as thick as like what's the fucking name? Like thick as like a nice leather, but as sturdy as like a solid piece of metal. Imagine basically something equivalent of like a sunflower seed, like cracked open, but it's hard as metal and it's large enough to shield your entire body standing up.
Huh.
All depending on which scales you pick, because there are multiple. But yeah.
So, how long are the tendons I picked up from the claw itself?
Long.
Okay.
Like a good 40 feet.
I'm gonna start tanning any hide-like material once I'm done with the scales.
Alrighty. So.
And I don't bother washing the little scales.
Alrighty. So Kilroy, you gonna do anything? Also,
I was gonna look at that.
Rog,
You want-
Rog, you just saw or heard Kilroy just whispering to himself in a corner and just listening intently. Just to himself, alone.
Can I like listen on his thing?
Roll me a perception check.
Will do. 21.
So, Kilroy, would you like to just tell what's like? He didn't hear the answer, but what was the question that you asked?
Hey, Lai, can you share me what happened before you entered the book?
Is that what he said?
Yeah,
That's
that's
all?
what he said, and then he listened intently and just finished, and then I guess he went out.
Hey, Kurai! Who are you talking to?
No one. Why?
Kurai, I heard you talking to... I saw you talking to your book.
Technically, he wasn't even
Somewhere on the
speaking
other
to a
side of the
book. He
world.
was just standing in the corner, just looking at nothing.
Oh, right. You were literally standing in a corner talking to yourself. The heck are you doing?
I'm doing nothing.
Oh my god, you're going insane. We're gonna have to find a doctor. I think.
Somewhere on the other side of the world, Omnius sees Kilrai lie to Rog like that. He just stops for a moment. I couldn't be more proud.
I was just walking up, thinking in my head, yes, got it.
I as he's walking off, can I get an insight check on that?
Roll inside, I guess.
For insight, I can get intentions. Oh, would you look at that?
Hey,
20,
he's
30,
lying
20.
as usual. Let's go.
Yeah.
As usual.
As per the quota.
Obviously, he was talking to a book. These
Great
books are
detective.
crazy.
Hey, go talk to the main people now. See if what bargain we can get. Worship.
Certainly. Also, I recently read it on some information, and I kind of wanted your opinion on that as well.
Oh.
Just remember that. Just a quick question. A name. You wouldn't have happened to ever have heard of the name David Copperpot before, would you?
I need to do a history recheck, most likely.
Yeah, roll me a history check.
21.
Doesn't really ring a bell.
No, not
You met people who are David, but it's like, you know, hey David, you never see him again. It's like,
Hey, Dave!
See that
One out of
counter
20.
There's many
Well-
Daves.
Okay. Still, thanks for the answer. Yeah, I assume there's gotta be someone we can ask about this, and
you see, Kira, you see your companion just looking at the lector for a bit, just following him as he walks away, and then proceeds to follow him. Lectors, while still
yes.
on the boat, all of you just start to hear like the crackling within you, just like every few seconds.
Eric.
Okay, fuck
I
this.
would
I'm gonna
be pulling out the
I'm gonna
book
cast
and
detect
looking
magic
at
on
it?
something. I'm gonna find something.
Okay.
Eric, I'm pulling out the book, looking at it. I have true sight. What does it say?
Oh boy. It doesn't say anything. Well, what you haven't seen before. But now, instead of like still images with the true sight, you see a slight animation from each page that you have. Roll me a perception check.
Wow.
You didn't do with the dragon, so
Oh.
yeah.
24.
At the final piece where there's just your stuff, you suddenly notice a small little tear at the top right corner of the page. Like a page that has been stuck there permanently. But now you just saw this just now. You never seen it before. You always knew that this was the final page, but now there looks like there's something stuck at the final page.
I'm going to see if I can flip it. Find where that goes.
So, first of all, Lector, as soon as you do, just tell me, are you below deck or above deck?
I'm currently above deck,
Okay,
just looking.
So all of a sudden, just casting that spell, immediately you get a sudden blast of a radiant glow, like somewhere around your toes. Like just like somebody just turned on like a fucking 200-watt lamp, just blasting.
The fuck?
You look over and you see there's this small silhouette of like a lizard cat that is just following you, and it's all like the just the silhouette of it just emanating so much magic that is insane.
This could certainly be an explanation for it.
So, Kirai,
Yes.
I'll come back to you in a minute, actually. Give me a second.
Oh.
Just roll me a D100, please. Ooh. Roll me a strength check. Or a strength saving throw, actually. So, have you ever touched an item that was like just normal size in your hand, but suddenly started expanding, and you couldn't hold it anymore? As soon as you like flipped that page and you just like got that little stuck page loose, immediately you lose the grip of your book, as the book became like 3 times as dense, and immediately just on the ground.
We're on top of the deck. Does it actually move the ship?
No, it doesn't.
When
It's a heavy book for you. But yeah, you just immediately just get this like book that was like nice normal book, to like a fucking dictionary thick, just like
Damn.
and immediately as you drop the book, Elector, you see the fucking silhouette immediately turn around and go next to Kilroy, observing Kilroy and the book that he dropped. That you now see the dragon betrayer is at least 3 times as thick as you saw before.
I'm just watching the interaction between Kirai and Kirai, the book, and this thing.
So, Kirai, the your companion approaches you, observes the fallen book that is big, and of course looks at you and says, "What have you done, child?"
In response, I said, I just saw an extra page.
There, he is a child.
Well, in that case, you got yourself a lot more reading, child. As you can
Oh,
see, as you
boy.
can see, Lector, like the silhouette immediately just kind of like nicely, like a cat, just kind of steps on the book and then jumps on on Kilroy's hand and just kind of curls next to his shoulder or next to his neck by the shoulder and stays there. So, while you're having that, Ken, walking towards the library to look for like stuff. You no longer see the building, but you see quite a big crowd of people. One of them is the white dragonborn screaming loudly.
Someone just discovered the dice roller.
Yeah. And you basically see the dragonborn just yelling accusation, shouting at people. Who did this? One half was not enough. Who stole my other library?
D23.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Cursed dice.
What'd he say?
Oh!
Who stole my other side of the library? As you see, the library where once was is no longer there. There's just a lot of grass and shrubs and a lot of books. And broken bookcases.
Wait, what? How the
Gosh.
would I know that there was more library?
Well, technically you slept in it, so you know there
Well,
was there. Now
also-
it's gone. It's basically, it's just there. There was a building today in the morning when you left with Lena. Now it's nothing. There's nothing. There's just books, bookcases, and they're really mad. The Dragonborn shouting at everybody.
what did you do, Ken?
I did jack shit.
Oh, we all know what you did in there. Okay, enough with the jokes.
But yeah, he's
Okay.
basically shouting at everybody, and you see there's Marshall looking at it. Just kind of surmising the situation, looking at the like. There's just like a large, like 15-foot pile of books, just like random books, just now, just in a single cluster, and Marshall just kind of overlooking it, like. I do believe, in fact, your library has been stolen.
Well, Sherlock.
and,
I'm just like under my breath, just like, no shit.
and then walks away. Never was a fan of books anyway. Just walks away.
I'm gonna go and. Oh, can I do that? Yeah, I should be able to. Detect magic around it.
Whee! Alrighty. Roll me also an investigation. Okay.
Dirty 20.
Well, it's fucking gone. There's nothing there. you can still see like the corners that were like pressed into the grass by the foundations and everything left a mark. So yeah, also you don't see anywhere the library, so you see nobody just picked it up and dragged it anywhere. But with magic, you do find a lot of traces of abjuration magic just sprinkled all over the the former library parameters.
Huh.
Another Sherlock shows up, walks away.
Interesting. Just goes away.
Through my staff, I'm going to attempt something and cast Dispel Magic through it. See if anything like that happen. Anything happen.
Alrighty.
Fucking dies.
You cast the spell
Oh,
magic.
the house appears again.
You cast the spell magic. Nothing happens.
I then finally acknowledge the Dragonborn. Said, "Were you awake when this happened?"
Oh wait, no! I was sleeping in my hammock, and then suddenly I got banged against the ground, thinking that somebody pushed me outside. But then I look around and see there's nothing. And you
I
just...
can tell you that there's a huge amount of aberration magic emanating around this place.
Meaning?
Somebody used magic to poof it away. No idea why, but while I'm here, may I peruse your books before they get
No.
damaged?
I need to categorize, organize, reassemble everything, find a place to keep them all. And you see the fucking Dragonborn is getting frustrated, like visibly frustrated.
Well then, maybe I can lend a hand with that then. The very least.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Who just disappeared?
Also using the commanding presence.
I think the one who disappeared is the crunchy little bunchy.
Yep.
So I'm gonna add that
IBR.
D8 to the roll. So 17. No, wait.
18.
18.
Then immediately he just like, fine, help me with these then, and he just starts like, picks a book, reads a title, and then starts designating and categorizing book by like stuff, and you basically eventually just like get a bunch of books on yourself, and he just keep piling on top of you while you're holding them. There's a good like 7 feet of books that you're holding at this moment, and it's just like
Nice.
cramping up.
And that's a stack.
Yeah. So, with that being said, Omnius, about this time, you will know that it is about noonish, and you do see Savannah with one of your bees exiting the what's it called, the engineering guild, and also alongside him there's 2 individuals just kind of rolling out this medium-sized barrel of stuff. You assume oil.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so where was I at last? I was in the market. That's right.
Yes.
I'm all gonna walk. I'm plebeian walk over the engineering district.
The wide omnious walk.
Full JoJo walk.
Oh, JoJo style.
Oh no. It will take a bit for you to get
You hear the
there.
cars playing in the background.
So, yeah. Omnious walking just, how, okay. Walking
I'm just gonna go
around,
get the
well, walking towards it, quite a lot of people recognize you as the hero of Norn. You see quite a few individuals from the Platinum Seas also observe you. Don't really interact or say anything to you, but observe nonetheless. And yeah, the walk towards Savannah was quite peaceful. She's no longer present by the doorway, but there's individuals just kind of sitting on the barrel and just looking kind of bored, and eventually perks up when he actually sees you. He kind of gives you a wave. Omnius, I presume.
You presume correctly. Hey, you got my stuff.
Yeah, and he kind of gives like 2 taps on the side on this metallic barrel, and he kind of just stands up and just kind of steps aside.
Awesome, thank you kindly. Well, I go over and I see if I can pick up the barrel, or if it's too heavy for me to pick up that large hand.
Well, with one hand, kind of difficult. With two, not really. And as soon as you start to pick up, he just says, just don't make sure that you don't ignite it, because probably everybody around in quite a distance would be dead immediately.
Ah, yeah, highly flammable oils. Good, this should work great. Time to go use it to bring a whole bunch of people back from the dead.
You what? And you just disappear.
Yep.
literally, Nate.
See, I wait for him to go, wait, what? And then I be-teleport.
And you're literally like an snake oil salesman, but you actually just need oil. Anyway. Yeah. Omnis, I'm guessing you're teleporting by your graveyard. It's the triage that you made. Alright. So yeah, you put down your barrel of fun stuff, and you see the bodies are still there. They have not been moved.
So can I see where the marshal currently is?
You would see him basically at this very moment walking in one of the fully built places. It's next to the tavern that you saw, the Two-Eyed Crow that you've been. But it doesn't have like any actual name or like a shop front. It's just one of buildings that were made recently.
Alright, well, I'll teleport out into the middle of the road in front of that building and wait for him. Also, point of correction, Omnius has never actually been in the Two-Eyed Crow.
Oh, true.
The Two-Eyed Raven.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. You've been there in spirit, though, so that's what matters. So...
I mean, he's seen it, most likely.
So, yeah, Ken is helping with the books. I'm just waiting for Marshall. Kilroy, what would you like to do with now your buffed up book?
Try and pick it up and go through all the other pages to see what's new.
It is fucking stuffed. What you fucking realize at this very moment, that it's in chronological order. As you can see, it has like a small, tiny, not indentation, but like a mark of date, and it just says day 1, day 2, day 3, and you start to skim over, and the dates literally stop at the very end in the hundreds of thousands.
Holy. Sorry,
Are you
Victor.
alright
I
there,
won't
Kira?
be able to go further. I gotta stay here and read all of this.
May I see that?
Mine.
Mine.
God damn it.
May I see that suggestion? Nah.
Yes.
I know you're immune to that spell, so I'm not going to do that.
There's no use.
Yes. Doesn't work for gears, though. But it's not necessary yet. Well then, if you're focused on this, I guess I'm going to try to find Omnius. If
Alrighty.
we're going to get the thing
you're right.
with the
Yeah.
boat on the road.
The first few hundred pages is a literal flip through as every single page just looks like it's just been shot, like hit by like a continuous lightning bolt. But with each page you flip, you sense like there's a piece and bit of like an actual living emotion. At first it was pain, and then it was anger and rage, and then it was fear and a sudden realization of isolation. And that goes for 400 pages. 427 pages to be exact. As there's nothing but just burn out pieces that you don't even read, but you just flip through it, just get like, it's like one of those like, what's it called? Those flip through books where you know you do really fast with like a finger. So you get like a tiny animation. It's basically like that, but you just get this long strain of emotion. Then you get yourself a list. And the list is just simple. How do I say this? Simple notches on the page. And there's about 700 pages full of these notches. By doing basic math, you estimate that one page holds about 700 notches.
Kira is capable of basic math.
Wow, what a shocker.
This could become a habit.
So, just I'm gonna leave you with that, cause that's a long way to like just realize until you like read through, cause that's a long scroll through. So I'm gonna keep you with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Lecter.
I'm leaving the ship and
Oh,
just
yeah.
heading off, trying to find someone. Specifically, yeah, Omnius.
Yeah.
Just kinda idly walking through the city until I find him.
Alrighty. Rog, what about you?
Well, after doing that, I'm going to just. Let's see what I have. I think I'm just going to experiment and try to make a gold scale ring. Just using a tiny scale as a ring, just to see how it looks and if it could make a pretty profit.
Well, you don't really have a source of heat to melt gold.
All right. Oh well, never
Not
mind.
yet.
Not yet.
Okay, then I'm drawing schematics for possibilities.
There.
That's just
So,
one question. That's like a genuine point of relevance. If we were to like pretty much draw schematics or something, like preparing a project, would that still count towards progress?
yes. That would give you a modifier, or in reality, just a reduction of DC.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why you always, when you do a project, that's why you always roll intelligence check. So
I'm
you can imagine.
I'm gonna write down 3 Jex. Depending on how much time I have before something significant happens, ring, necklace or amulet, and dagger or possibly axe, whichever I can squeeze in faster or more simplistic design.
Alrighty, gotcha. So while you do that, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So Ken, you basically are getting encumbered by the books. At this point, you don't even realize how you can actually, like, you can't mathematically realize how the Dragonborn is still like putting like books on top of you, like he's not that he's a bit short than you, so how the hell is he still putting books on top of it? But still getting put on top of it, and also well, that's almost everything from Ervian dialect. So follow me, please. And he kind of just walks away while he's like commanding stuff. So roll me a strength check.
Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, Ken, roll me a strength check. Oh god. Oh,
19.
Chad. Yeah, you fucking flex those muscles carrying those books like a nerd.
But it's a bunch of books too.
It's a fucking lot of books. Lecturer, you would actually see just a giant pillar about 8 foot of books just casually going around like a very dense, a very solid foundation of book just going around, and you swear to God you see Ken carrying all of them while following the Dragonborn you saw.
Ah, I see. They learned how to animate books. Wait, what the fuck is that? Is that Ken?
The sea Ken.
I have the animate spell.
Alright.
Like, I just imagine him saying, I wish that was an animate spell. It is.
I wish there was a way to make these books walk by themselves.
Your eyes like.
Am I gonna be nice enough for Tense's floating disc? Not yet.
I'm too busy reading books, man.
I'm sorry. I will come back and help later. Would you happen to have seen Omnius anywhere nearby?
I mean, I'm just standing in the road somewhere.
So while you're Omnius, waiting like basically on the road by the building that Marshall walked in, it's been a good 5 to 10 minutes. He hasn't came out of it. And you suddenly just look around, and from your perspective, you would know that Ken is carrying a lot of books, and you see a lecturer that found out that Ken is carrying a lot of books and now interacting with them. And then you spot with your own eyes a giant tower slowly approaching you through like the city streets, and you see the familiar white dragonborn who's like shouting to just come on here, and just kind of going like basically leading Ken in a direction. And yeah, you can you can't see shit except Lecter, who's looking like to your side. Lecter,
Yeah, I'm just standing there.
Yeah, you just see Omnius looking around like a lost puppy in the middle of the road.
Oh, if I spot Lecter, I just do the head, the head slightly jerking upwards, just like, sup.
Oh, convenient. I need to talk with the two of them.
Can we wait until after I've delivered the books?
Okay.
Well, that depends. Do you want to hear about your king having an affair? I point to one of his people.
Okay. I just imagine Ken's next words are like the demo man says, "A fucking what?" So,
Can I point
Oh,
out
let me
that
get that
one of
video. Let
his
me get that
people-
video for you.
clap, clap, clap. Whew. So, what you realize, Omnius, is that the White Dragon passes you by and basically tries to push you away to make way for his books. And he goes inside the belly that Marshall went, and he opens the doors and waits eagerly for Ken to basically go in with the books as well.
Is the door big enough to fit all those books?
No.
I am gently going to find a nice piece of non-dirt but plank of wood and gingerly and carefully set them on top of it. Trying not to disturb the, I'm assuming, not exactly
Omnius,
stable pile.
yeah, Omnius Electro, you immediately see the Dragonborn getting agitated, but then he then realizes the fucking book tower is larger than the door. He's like, okay, yeah, that's gonna be good enough. Thank you. And he kind of pats you, Ken, on the shoulder and gives you a silver coin.
I look at the price. Are any of these for sale?
Once I set up the library, sure, but at the moment, no.
All right.
I will need that book back, by the way, at some point.
What book?
Medicine of Norn.
Oh, the one he has?
Hmm.
Okay.
He doesn't.
If
say-
necessary, we can create a
he
copy.
He
but-
says nothing. He's basically looking at the tower and basically just getting the books and by a handful and just going in and starts. And you can see the interior of it. It's quite large, maybe 40 by 40 feet, and it has a second floor that is like a square staircase type of deal. And he's getting all the books and going to the second floor with them.
We're not going to question how.
Overlooking the book selector, roll me investigation check.
Okay. I believe that's one of the ones that I'm currently at plus 10 at. Yep. Daddy 20.
You realize majority of these books are of different languages, different dialects, not native to the archipelago or Dor. So the only rational outcome you can gain from this is either these are Dragonborn's personal books that he got from somewhere, or he had a collection of them. And most of those books are literally romantical literature. Well, basically, what's the fucking thing? Non-academic stuff.
My
Novels.
medical research seems a bit out of place, but whatever. Yeah.
So nothing.
Let them do whatever they want.
Nothing that would interest a wizard. Maybe a bard, though. That's the best.
Yeah.
That's the best. Yeah.
Well, now that incident seems to be resolved. Turning over to Omnius.
Omni's still looking like a lost puppy.
Yeah. You wished to talk to us. How may we help?
Oh, I just had to inform you guys about something interesting that I found out a little bit ago.
Which would be?
That the King of Norn is fucking one of Xanda's underlings.
What?
What?
That the King of Norn is having an illicit affair with one of Xana's underlings, and then I specifically listened to Xana and this underling have a conversation about gathering information and a disagreement on the methods thereof.
A slight eye twitch.
See, now that's the response I was expecting.
I just play. I knew that bitch was just no good.
That's not a bad idea.
Wait, what?
It's one way to gather information.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in fairness, it
As
did
some,
seem it was
like,
rather
no
effective.
joke. Araxis, let's be honest. Lecter was most likely raised without this kind of research methodology
Oh no,
being
no.
taught.
Arcane means of like scrying orbs, yes. Literal pictures, recording devices, unheard of. That's like a frontier that Omnis has like the most capital on.
And then the literal idea of creating an affair to gather information. New world. I just got a whole bunch of dumb ideas with this guy's self, but I'm not gonna speak them out loud.
I love the Ken is like this king who is single fucking with someone. Fucking fuck. And then and Ken looks at Lena.
No, it's more the for information and all that stuff. It's like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, listen,
And to be honest,
but
he's been suspicious ever since he saw the extra council members that came out of that door all the way back in episode 14.
Yeah.
So yeah, I figured you might want to, know that, process that information, decide how you want to move forward with it.
Lecter.
It shall just be noted for now.
Oh.
Noted.
Do you have any idea what happens if they found any secrets of Norn?
Oh, I would wager that she's found a few secrets out about the king already.
Don't push it.
I would recommend, cooperation about said updates. I mean, shared information is always powerful.
Well, heroes of Norn, as you look over the diminished pile of books, you see the head of Marshall peek through it as he kind of scoots aside and walks down to the street next to you.
Oh, cool, and I needed to talk to him, too.
Everyone's just appearing in the middle of this half-disappeared library.
Well...
Oh no, the library is completely gone. This is what's left of it.
Wait, there's something about a library?
I mean, apparently
there was a
the
library
library disappeared.
How did I miss that?
I mean,
I don't know. I did a
it certainly looks like abjuration. Who knows? Maybe someone banished it. By the way,
that is what
depending
I
on the definition
detected.
of-
I did
Araxis,
detect
just for
magic.
reference, detect magic lasts 10 minutes, so I would be like at the outer edge of the spell right now, so I still see the traces.
That's exactly what I got when I did it.
Hey. Mystery.
Well, there's a pretty common spell that can make things disappear that would fit into abjuration.
I tried to dispel it, but it didn't work, so I'm out of ideas.
That would lead to an interesting consequence, because normally things that are dispelled that are not native to this plane normally stay wherever they are banished to. My head just turns into the direction of the Dragonborn.
The Dragonborn is busy with his books, just kind of picking the moment, just kind of...
Good.
Oh my precious! I will never let you out in the cold elements again.
Are you mocking him openly?
No, I'm not. I am not.
Okay.
100% not.
Marshall looks at you like, yeah, so instead of building again on that cursed place, I decided to give him this little nice empty household that It was supposed to be the new cobbler's place, but I guess the cobbler is now dead, so...
Actually, that's
About
a very
that.
interesting point.
About that!
Mr. Marshall, my fine acquaintance, I suppose. I have a deal for you.
I nudge, just like, don't mention the gobbler in this deal, please. I don't want to move these books again.
Don't worry, the next time I will help.
I just stare blankly at him, at Lecter's, like,
So, Mr. Marshall, it would appear that in the events yesterday, there were quite a few members of this town which did not manage to make it back after the whole, incident. Out of pure curiosity on my part, how many of these people would perhaps be worth anything to you? Monetarily, of course.
You can see him kind of squinting with one eye, and you can see something in his head just going on, like making calculations. I guess for the cobbler, I'm willing to part with 800 gold pieces. The rest are insignificant.
Oh, what was that last word, by the way?
Insignificant.
Insignificant, yes. I generally feel the same way about most of these organics. They're largely just fodder or tools to get in the way. But
Head turn.
hypothetically, if you were in a situation where, you needed a few more people to help build up some of this town, the extra labor would be beneficial. The additional strains on the social infrastructure and the networks that have been built here from having so many fine people suddenly removed from the equation. You really feel like just 800 gold is all you could come off of the entire lot of them? That does seem...
I said for the cobbler only. I don't care about
Yeah,
the
so I'm
rest.
trying to fatten my purse. We'll cut straight to the point.
If you can resurrect the cobbler, I'm willing to give you 800 gold pieces. Just
Well,
gotta
that
start
hardly covers the material costs for taking care of this particular... 800 gold doesn't even cover half of the required material components for the spell alone. I'd be coming out at a massive net loss. No, that just simply won't do.
Oh.
Magic of this type is expensive, so...
Oh,
you
alright.
have to really make sure that nothing goes wrong.
He's just like, oh, alright, and just walks away.
Fair. Well, gentlemen, on the
No,
positive
that's the
side,
solution.
on the positive side, we have quite a few reincarnates now, so don't worry about dying.
Now, Rock.
Wait a second, we gotta reincarnate.
Oh, I have an idea, actually. I'm gonna go try an experiment. I'll be back.
Oh no.
I'm gonna de-teleport away.
Where are you teleporting?
I'm going to teleport to the ship. I'm going to grab the drum of oil. I'm going to teleport to Victor's Grove. I'm going to find... Let's find an already... No, let's go ahead and just find some random small animal. Kill it. Reincarnate it, see what I get.
Oh my fucking god.
What the fuck?
Oh no.
What a way to make allies. Or enemies.
So I have a question, because you have a choice, because you can see the forest. You see a nice little doe, a wolf, a fox, a young cub of a bear, or a bunch of squirrels.
Is the bear alone?
the squirrels deserve to die.
I know, I hate squirrels too. IRL, I hate squirrels.
I'm going to go back to the party and ask
But that's
them,
up to him.
So hypothetically, if I was going to kill and I list off these animals, for a scientific endeavor, which of them do you think I should kill?
Sadly, I'm not there.
Wait a second.
So wait, what was the list again?
A bear,
A doe, a wolf,
cub,
a squirrel, a bear.
a a bunch of squirrels, a bear cub, a wolf, a doe, or a fox?
Squirrels.
A fox would be interesting, in my opinion.
I'd rather the squirrel. Anything bigger than you might have a problem.
All right, we have a vote for a fox and a vote for a squirrel. I'm gonna go find Rog and ask him the same question.
Oh god.
Squirrel.
Well, what are you looking for? Annoying nut muncher or powerful child? I'd say go for the youngest one. I'd say go for the bear.
Okay, so we have fox, squirrel, bear. Kilrai. If I was going to kill
You just
a list of animals for King,
here's the thing. Omnis, you come back to Kilrai and you just look at Kilrai just looking like fucking lost his all will to live as he is crawling through the fucking book of like the Dragon's Betrayer that is like 3 times big, and there's just a bunch of like notches all over the pages, like somebody just fucking just like he's just scrolling like G.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me get your attention real quick. All right. I need to kill an animal. It's gonna be like a doe, a bear, a fox, a squirrel, or something else. What should I kill?
Say again?
What did he say?
I love how we haven't. Nobody has asked why. Yeah.
Scientific research, a new side project.
The last time that happened, we literally summoned the Grim Reaper or some variation of it, so I'm certainly curious what's going to happen this time.
What animals?
I just need some small helpless animal that's recently dead so I can reincarnate it and see what it turns into.
A bird.
Bird isn't one of those options. We've got a doe, a bear, a fox, or a squirrel.
I don't know where I got all of these pages, though.
Oh yeah, no, we'll figure out about the book here in a minute. Wait, that book's bigger. Anyway. Good luck with that, my friend.
So what are the other party members doing over there on land?
They found half of an exploded library, I'm guessing. They're having a conversation with a dragonborn. Yeah.
Wait. What I link
so I'm gonna go kill a squirrel. Bye.
What I link this to that incident?
What?
Eric?
What?
I can't understand you, buddy.
I'd say, would I link that up with what happened to that library? Because he just said it's gone.
Probably not.
Back to scrolling.
And,
So
yeah, I'll take care of this later, like towards the end of the game. It'll make for a good cliffhanger.
Give me a second.
Plans with the marshal fell through, so I'm done.
I really hope this is gonna say
this part, at least.
Okay, I'm gonna just. Alrighty.
Have you ever thought of contacting the families of the departed, or have made an announcement in town?
I don't think they have any power over military ships. I will be following Marshall.
Alrighty. So you're walking, and after a good, say, 2 minutes of walking, he immediately stops, turns, and looks at you, and says, "Yes."
There are still some open questions.
Like?
Along others, like I said, one of my colleagues offered to help with reincarnation. A dangerous process, but like we said, you denied the offer.
Yes.
We'll be also asking the relatives in case they want to have that service for themselves.
Sure.
So, just so you know.
Okay.
And we were looking to well, invest in local businesses because our current ship is slowly, well, going down. We
How
need something
unfortunate.
a bit more useful, and we wanted to ask, do you have connections to anyone who could, well, give us a good deal on a good ship? There are some
Well,
good ships in the port, and there's certainly some things that we would like to sell for it.
oh, let me guess, you want the big one.
I'm not denying it.
Well, it's mine, and of course, Vix's, and of course, the Queen ship. He kind of scratches his chin a bit. So how much, theoretically, you'd be offering? Marshall would be quite interested in your offer.
Like we established before, reincarnation is an expensive process. We would be offering... quick question, Omnius, how much oil do you have?
Well, I asked for enough to do 8. I'm not sure exactly how many I got,
Okay.
or even if
Okay.
it'll work. So that's kind of what this animal thing is experimenting with.
Okay. So, depending on how well the process works, let's say 4 or 5 reincarnations, 5,000 gold as an addition, depending, and access to part of the resources from the dragon that we took as well.
You see Marshall completely phased out for a moment and kind of stands back. You were saying?
The name says this. A marshal, not a merchant. Well, like I said, we're offering magic services and finances, as well as financial resources. We have a few good artisans that can, if need be, at least in theory, work with dragon scales as well. Otherwise, I assume you would be hard-pressed to sell your own ship. Do you know any other good ones?
I already might have been...
Or at least who I could
I don't know
contact
how
to...
ironic your say might be, but we're actually willing to sell our ship. Question is how much you're offering.
I told you my offer twice. So...
Speak in gold, not in services.
How much is the life worth?
Depends on how much you offer.
Well, 4 to 5 lives. 5,000 gold. And however much you would define as draconic resources.
5,000 gold!
That's just the addition. We don't normally deal in direct finances. Mages deal with, well, arcane ingredients like draconic scales. It's
well,
easier to deal with resources like this.
oh, don't worry. We already are set with the dragon. It will be picked up quick enough. As for the situation of the ship, I would say he kind of starts to flinch a bit, looking at the sea.
Average price of dragon scale.
And you can see him a bit twitching, and you see
How
a bit
much
like
can I give them?
pulling out a bit, and then looking back at you again. I would say maybe 85,000 gold pieces.
85, okay. How long will you be in port?
Permanently?
Noted. I may come back with that, regarding that. As for right now, well, at least thanks for cooperating.
Anytime, and he just walks away.
Quietly,
To keep.
quietly Lee needs to Do we have enough spare dragon resources for that?
Not yet. We haven't declared that we're completely finished.
True.
Literally just go back and take out the rest of the dragon.
Okay. Where are you heading then?
I'm gonna be. I'm not heading anywhere. I'm casting. Sending.
Ooh, to whom?
Well, Xana.
Oh boy! Let's go.
We're currently at well, a northern island close to the Bastard, and an ancient dragon recently died here, and there's still some resources left. Do we have interest in those?
There's no response, but immediately a sudden flash of light, like 5 feet next to Ken, just appears, and from it,
They're here.
Like literally, the Platinum Seas, when it comes to shit like this, is just like America and oil.
Well, we tried to play ball with you, Mr. Marshall, but that was not the right way to approach this
Time
situation.
for an inquisition.
Now we are calling all
No
the-
one expects the Silver Inquisition.
Platinum Inquisition.
Oh, right.
That should have been our name.
so
It's gonna be the new name of the ship after we buy it.
so
The Platinum Inquisition?
so
Sure, why not?
I like it.
Okay, so what you basically see, she immediately overlooks the situation and looks at the looming dragon remnants in the south, and just like,
Yeah, I would be leading her there.
I'm leading her to. You're not gonna talk about anything else. Nothing at all.
I will tell her that we already secured part of it, and that it is currently secured by Omnius at a place unknown to anyone apart from him. But that I trust him with the matter. And
Well done indeed, Lecter. And she kind of overlooks the dead a dragon. And then all of you, Lecter, you immediately just had this clicking sound begin again. And as soon as Xana touches the mouth of the dead dragon, immediately there's just a magical barrier just ushers in and just stops any more passage further in.
this is pretty much exactly what I hoped for.
And if any of you try to pass through the barrier, you can't.
You just can't.
And she doesn't say anything, and then just kind of looks at you, Lecter.
Yes.
You're doing?
Not directly. A set of, well, circumstances led to this dragon attacking the region. And him, pointing to Ken, he was the one who prepared the ammunition, the explosive, and who eventually shot the shot that eventually killed the dragon.
So...
It swallowed a big explosive and was blown up from inside.
But who casted the barrier?
That was you.
Barrier.
No. She cannot get in.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought she just cast the barrier.
She walked closer to the dragon and she kind of tried to touch the maw of it, and immediately just a barrier showed up and blocked her passage.
I thought she just created the barrier. That would have
She looks.
That's how it sounded.
She looks super confused at you. So
Would explain the arcane sensor earlier today. It is not my doing.
Could it be our leaving because we thought the island was going away? May have put around the thought that we were done grabbing what we wanted from the dragon.
not exactly. And you just hear this echoing from the maw of the dragon. Sadly to announce, this dragon has already been sold by me, to me. And I will be taking it shortly.
Who the fuck?
You start to hear tiny clapping sounds, and from the distance, all of you can see are these two faint, cold bluish eyes, visible in the darkness, as this 4 foot, maybe 4.5 foot, black kobold emerges from the maw of the dragon. Stop screaming!
I was
My
giggling,
ears,
cackling.
man.
Stop. So the first thing you notice, Lecter, same with everyone, besides being a kobold in this dragon's maw, it also has a really how do I say this? Torn appearance about itself. Looks like he's been just through the coldest of winters, through the hottest of summers, in a few minutes. Its skin is cracked, scorched, burned, signs of ice bite anywhere, but it looks unfazed. Also, in its back, you see 2 small wings attached to him, similar to an angel, but they're made of some sort of patch leather, made of similar to like a dragon's skin or scales. As the kobold emerges from the maw and meets you by the barrier, just kind of looks at you. Hello.
I'm standing back right now. I'm not saying anything.
Xana immediately looks dumbfounded and then just raises her voice a bit. And who are you supposed to be? And the kobold just kind of looks at Xana. Oh, Miss Xana, don't be so prude. We probably never were properly introduced. They call me Fang. She looks a bit dumbfounded, and the kobold is definitely looking for some sort of response, like some sort of realization, and then kind of shrugs. Oh well, doesn't matter. The dragon will be taken away shortly. I bought it fair and square, and I'm sanctioned by the Platinum Seas to take it.
I'm looking at Xana.
Xana looks extremely... Imagine if somebody who thinks they're really good at chess, they lose at a second turn, at a second move. That's
Wrong.
her face. That's her face at the moment. She looks...
Question. Who the bloody hell sold it to you?
The rightful rulers of this settlement on the island, of course.
Well, whatever they did, they obviously sold it to you while we still were laying claim to it. So they literally just sold something to the Platinum Seas that had already been claimed. by said Platinum Seas.
Oh no, this is my purchase. But I'm endorsed by the Platinum Sea, so... He kind of just shrugs and just looks...
Needless to say, we were still not done with the thing.
Yeah, it wasn't theirs to sell.
He kind of scratches his chin a bit. So, what else specific you might require from it?
That
The
depends.
entirety of its value. Oh no, that wasn't meant to be funny. It wasn't theirs to sell. You bought an illegally sold thing.
Does this count as theft by definition, and therefore as the rightful owners until we declare that we are finished with this project? It should, at least by definitions, be ours.
Congratulations that you received stolen property, and now we have to bring it up with the quote-unquote rightful rulers of the settlement that they have stolen property from us.
Oh. Well, that's not really my problem, is it?
Kind of is, considering you think you're receiving stolen property, which you most certainly are not.
Oh. Kind of just
Quick
shrugs.
question, Ken.
Yeah.
Do you think a blacktip could blast through this?
Can I investigate the shield to see if it actually would do that?
You have no knowledge of that. The kobold.
I do know it takes one heck of a wallop. Pack a punch.
So the
It's possible.
So the kobold is like looks at you while you discuss about your means of getting in, and he just kind of taps a bit the sticky, a bit acidic surface of the tongue of the dragon. Says, well, that was a pleasant shatter, but I really need to finish up the ritual. I'm a bit on a delay. And he proceeds to go back into the maw.
It appears there's been some backhanded business that we haven't been informed about.
Well, whatever happens, we better.
Which means that we now have to deal with the fucking wrath of Xana.
Xana looks less mad about you, more like confused about Fang.
Which is good.
She looks a bit contemplating, like, indoors? She immediately disappears and reappears like 10 feet into the maw and starts yelling, "Hey, wait a minute!" after the kobold as she runs into the maw.
So she actually got in there?
Yes. She teleported in. How she teleported into the barrier, that's a secret to you and you alone. But yeah, now you just basically see that he goes inside and yeah, and is lost in the darkness. What about the rest of you? As you're just...
Let's hope she comes back out.
Alrighty.
Actually...
How much schematic did I finish up?
Oh.
If I can ask.
So cool. You made every single schematic, but it's like you literally asking to make a single piece item schematic.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
not much single piece. There is going to be adornments of the.
yes, but it's literally
metal.
not a schematic. It's literally a drawing. A schematic is usually, schematics are usually used for multiple components that need to go together. That's why it's a schematic. So.
Fair enough.
So yeah, you're kind of left dumbfounded. The ominous lector can. Kilroy still just. Oh, Kilroy! Kilroy!
Now you remember me.
Yes! So Kilroy, after those 600 pages of just fucking dots, there is a revelation that the one final knot on the page that is not even been halfway filled. There's a fresh knot that is of this nice sickly greenish coloration. And you see that after all the notches are ended, there's about an inch below the paper that says current souls consumed 742,672.
Wait, what? I need to look at it.
Yeah, in the hundreds of thousands. So yeah, so then comes different coloration pages of individuals, and let's just say this: it's a lot of fucking lore, and you're gonna be stuck there for a few hours, if not days. So I'll DM you when the time is right. Every bit and piece of knowledge, because it's gonna take a while. Also, wait, Omnius, didn't you teleport it to?
Omnius is right now AFK.
Yeah.
I thought he was currently doing a resurrection.
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't he talk with Omnius about the stealing, even though he's resurrecting stuff? Anyway, Lecter and Ken, you're left dumbfounded by the maw of dragon. What would you like to do?
Just for the joke, I'm gonna try to Misty Step in.
Roll the intelligence check.
Okay.
Boom! You did.
8.
You missed a step in, you think for a moment you're gonna step in, and immediately just like face plant into the barrier face first. So,
I was imagining that there would be some kind of off comment by Fang. But
yeah. Omnius, I got a question. How did you spoke with Fang even though you're currently killing and resurrecting a squirrel?
Hello?
Oh boy.
Omnius? Well, roll Omnius'
like
death
he's here.
saving throw. Did he just unmute death himself, or? Oh, this is
no idea.
So, in that
Doesn't
case,
seem like he's
in
there.
that case, Lecter and Ken, what would you like to do?
Doesn't seem like this is working. I assume it would be best to just keep a look at it. I want to investigate the barrier.
Roll me Arcana check.
Like, trying to find out what the fuck this thing is. 16.
Oh boy. So, of course, approaching the barrier, you get the immediate ticks from your stuff, you know. from your little device that indicates time magics, you would assume that is extremely higher level than magic than usual. Because you got the thing that indicates higher levels of magic, while you know that barrier spells are at level 4th. So, potato, potato.
Oh.
So this is some form of high magic. Yep, I'm not messing with that shit.
Ah.
Well, other than that, just dumbfounded at the moment.
Yeah.
God.
You're like,
It annoys the
Hector?
fuck out of me that this is like the current situation.
Would that be the high magic you sensed?
Well, that's exactly why I went AFK for a while.
oh, you're mad?
Well, you know,
Hey,
it
Give me a
is
second.
kind of bullshit, but
I mean,
you're gonna do you.
Hey, here's the
I'll
big
be
one.
honest.
Honestly, I also have a question. How did you even talk to Fang if you were away resurrecting a squirrel? Oh,
What the fuck?
he left.
Give him some time. So,
Honestly, okay, guys, I gotta say something.
Hmm?
To me, this makes sense. Just saying.
it annoys the fuck out of me, but I mean,
Trust me.
should have left the fucking familiar there or something. Fuck.
It makes-
Thank you for reminding me. At least I have something to do right now. The forest around it is still accessible, right?
Yeah, the forest around is still accessible, but badly burned.
I'm
majority of it.
gonna be making a fucking bonfire.
Like causing a forest fire.
Nope. Just a bonfire in an area that's kind of burned down. Magically, well, infused / destroyed wood turned into charcoal
Oh yes.
is one of the ways how you could theoretically
Okay.
cast a Find Familiar
Yes.
spell.
Yes.
So yeah, I assume the collection of these materials, because I don't have them prepared right now, will take a while.
Familiars are very useful.
Yeah. That's why I want to get a second one.
Also, I think I'm done with the blade schematic.
Oh, technically you're done with all schematics. It's not.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna start a new one, a new drawing of a
Alright.
weapon.
He's actually
Eh.
drawing them.
I drew one. Want to see it?
I mean, put it on
It's-
for me if you wanna.
It's rough, but come
That's what a schematic is.
on.
Yeah.
Come on. Paste.
And to answer your question, Lecter, I'd rather not be firing that off with that lady here. Because I don't want to give her. She seems to be playing some sort of game. And I don't want her doing that.
I'm interested in the result though. Like, I get.
Oh, believe me,
following
I
me
am
around
too, but
somehow?
I rather not when she's here.
Are you following me around right now?
I got nothing better to do.
Because I kind of went off running to get myself some acid wood.
I put it in art.
Nice.
Did you? Oh. Oh God! Wait, you wanna make this out of dragon material?
Yes, and metal.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
It would require an actual forge. Cam would not cut it on this.
like I said, that's a problem that may soon be solved depending on how all the shit goes out.
If anything, the rings would be the only thing I could make to make some moolah. Right now.
Yeah. Shit. Well, honestly, apart from the...
But wait.
Hmm?
If they sold the dragon to it, that means they have no dragon bits left.
Didn't he say, like, he sold it to himself?
No, he said he bought it.
That's actually a decent point, like...
Meaning they have no dragon parts left.
Can I give you
Assuming that they know, unless this is
Okay,
something
okay,
and he's just laying
okay.
claim.
Okay, I have a just a 200 IQ for all of you. Maybe the guy who's interested in buying a whole fucking dragon would be also interested in dragon materials, just FYI.
Of course. Like, that's not part of the discussion right now.
But he stole our dragon. So we ain't gonna do shit for him right now.
Oh, how quickly the tables turn.
I hate Fang already. I definitely want to kill this guy at some point.
Funny.
What?
I mean, he's a kobold. He's meant to die at some point.
Ha! That's what you think.
So.
But we're not metagaming at
Anyways,
this point,
Omnius, just can I just do a little reminder that there's still 800 gold for the cobbler?
He's currently muted.
Right.
You can
He's
DM
deafened
him,
too.
You can DM him about the offer as well. As for... Oh boy.
No.
Yeah. Hey, you got first pick, and so... Hey.
I'm
Why
certainly
did we?
interested in how this is going out. Like, I'm not too far away from the dragon, like, still in range of sight.
So...
And I would be posting my drone somewhere roughly in the area of the mall, just having a look at it.
There is no sound coming from the tunnel. You don't know if it's some sort of alternate magic that is used by barrier, even though you heard Fang speak from one side of it. It's quiet. You don't see Xana or Fang or any notion of sound inside the stomach of the dragon or wherever they went.
Maybe the kobold did us a favor.
I mean, I'm sure if they really sold it off to him, it wouldn't be, like, if it was truly a deal, there must have been a lot of gold at play. I certainly would be interested in seeing that. Like, at least to know how much they paid for it. I mean, just freely accepting to, like, not take any of the draconic resources at all and just instead just accepting a sum of money. That just has to be astronomical.
But there's also another question. How did he know that there was a downed dragon here?
I mean, information spreads pretty fast, depending on who you ask.
To be honest, we haven't been here for less. It's only been 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours. How can information go that fast?
You saw how fast Xana got track of it after I told her, and how fast she came here.
But there was magic involved.
You seriously think no one else on this island has magic?
I don't tend to pay attention to that stuff.
I can't spread any of the details, but I can already tell you, Fang, Xana, and I aren't the only people of the Platinum Seas on this island.
What? Are there other other planets seeming on this island?
That's not a question, that's a statement.
Oh. Well, there is there.
Yeah, I know that, that's why I stated it.
I thought you were asking me a question. Sorry, I
Nope.
blanked out. Goddammit.
That's fine. I know that there are others, so I said there are others. And therefore, if others are there, it's completely reasonable to assume that maybe someone spilled the information. It's just surprising that this place hasn't been a victim of an inquisition yet. I think it's mostly about political debates in that case. It's still an interesting situation, though.
Alright. What's our next step?
Well,
Do we even bother trying to claim this dragon anymore?
Like, from my perspective, the distance between this dragon and us isn't a barrier, it's infinity. At least right now. If it were for the fact that this dragon would be here for eternity, maybe it would change at some point, but... If Fang was actually speaking the truth, that dragon is gonna be gone soon. So instead...
So while you say those words, immediately you see Xana emerge from the mog and followed by Fang.
Step back.
Oh, good. She
Beyond,
survived.
beyond the barrier. As you can see, the barrier has been dispelled as soon as they cross. You see the rippling of the barrier, and then it immediately just like dissipates. And the whole barrier just kind of around the dragon just slowly just disperses and disappears. And then immediately the Fang looks around and spots you, and then just kind of runs quickly, just like, and asks you, Lecter, if you got anything you need, get it now, because in less than 2 minutes, this dragon will no longer be here.
I'm turning my head to Xana. Any reaction from her?
She roll me an insight check.
Well,
It's like +8 or
I'll
something.
be back.
25?
You'd probably realize that Xana has seen a lot and knows a lot. And you kind of just see just genuine surprise from her. Like, she's mildly pleased about the whole circumstance. There's not a faint hint of rage or anger. She says nothing, she just kind of looks or admires Fang. Just. But there's nothing.
Well, I mean, I had a discussion with a few friends before. Actually, if I get the time, well, give me a minute. I'm going over to the eye. Let's finish off some stuff, at least get like, one last part. I'm cutting open the eye and I'm trying to rip out the ocular lens.
Alrighty. So, ripping it out, you remember the previous one that started having black spots? This one does not have any malformities. It has really nice, dense, slippery, but without hesitation. And also, Fang helps you with that endeavor, as he looks like he's done it 100 times before, just like slitting a specific like, have you ever seen like a person who works in a fish factory, just like gutting a fish just like in 2 motions?
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, Fang is extremely proficient in just disassembling the eye and letting you just to get the entire eye socket. and then when you acquire additional 20 feet of muscle, well, like not like thick, but like thin. He's just gonna ask anything else.
I'm looking over to Ken.
Could do for more scales. There are a few extra projects I could pull together if I need with
I
them.
mean, we got an entire foot's worth.
True, but you can always use some more.
Good point. Well, at least getting a few more. Like, I think I'm sticking to small ones. Like, just getting a few small ones.
Alrighty. Ken, if you can, Fang follows you, and basically when you try to get a specific scale, you see there's a sudden rush of bluish magic on his fingertips, and it changing his entire skin tone from like the scarred black to something like frozen over. He immediately just kind of snaps off the entire scale with perfection, like a simple twig of a branch, and just hands you over with a single hand.
It's like, huh.
Anything else?
What? Seem to know your way around dragons.
That would be an understatement. What else?
What does the tip of the tail look like?
The tip of the tail is, it is like a slender, one tail of many scales. There's no like spike or anything on the end of it.
And I got a few more scales, right?
How many? Basically, just say a number, I guess.
Like 5 small ones and then like 5 of the big ones.
So while you basically had to use your knife and detailedly cut everything up, he basically like snaps perfectly the scale off, like just snapping a sunflower seed in half. It takes less than a few seconds for him to just snap off and give it to you, as he just proceeds to follow you around, and just whatever scale you want, he just basically lashes off and gives it to you. And basically when you're done with it, anything else?
There's one last thing I would like.
He kind of looks at you.
Who are you?
Well, all my life, I've been known as nothing. I was supposed to die to a bunch of trolls as entertainment, got freed by a harpy, got trained by a master artificer, and you see there's a sinister grin comes across his face, and his eyes intensify in the glare. And I found the cache I was looking for.
Okay. Well, do us a favor. Don't call something like this in front of my boss again. This made all of this. Made the situation uncomfortable for all of us. But you seem to have resolved it somehow. Looking between...
You look over... You look over... Zena, as you're basically telling that off, and you see she looks at the dragon like she's waiting for something to happen, and uncharacteristically to her, there's this spark of like a excitement of a child moving over her. Like she's waiting for something to happen.
Well, in that case, I guess we will be waiting as well. Or at least I will. Like, my bonfire isn't burning right now, it's just like on the side, prepared. I guess I'll finish it off once this is finished.
So,
I'll need to talk to you after the session for a minute.
so, Ken, you're still like basically on the back getting the final scales as
Yep.
Fang is talking with the lecturer, and then when he finishes the speech, you kind of turn.
Making my way off.
Okay. He kind of gives a sharp whistle and says, "Back off, everybody!" As he extends his hand, there's a small spectral golden chain appearing around his wrist. Extends into his hand, which is equivalent to a whip. And then he just closes his eyes, starts to murmur something, and Lecter, your counter starts to tick up incredibly high. Like from like a couple tick tick to like a sudden burst of tick to the point that your chassis starts to slowly hum in vibration. Then all of a sudden, Fang finishes his incantation and yanks on the chain. And all of you just see the half-dead dragon suddenly springs to life, starts to jerk, and suddenly stops. As now, the similar glow, that palish bluish glow on Fang's eyes, are now seen in the dead sockets of the of the ancient black dragon, as its eye, as his head starts to rise.
Ow. I had something stuck.
And then the whole head springs up. The dragon stretches out its wings, and you can hear in the distance shouting that the dragon has risen again, and everybody defend themselves.
Panic.
Yeah, panic is ensuing in the background. Xana is still standing in amazement and acknowledgement. And just kinda, the tank just kinda looks at all of you and gives this a wave. If you got any more dragons, tell me. And he kinda...
Oh, hell no.
And he kinda, you can see there's a sudden jerky motion from the chain, and the dragon lifts off and starts flying into the sky. And then heads southwards, missing a foot. So, at this very moment...
What the bloody hell did just happen?
What you basically now see is the giant place where, well, I guess the pressed-in marks of the dragon where it was. Quite a few scales, quite a bit of blood in some places that were not reachable before, under its belly. But yeah, pretty much the dragon is no more. As you see, it's basically prevalent in the sky and slowly becomes just a distant spot southwards.
Well then, what the fuck? Xana?
Xana still kind of eyes it, and you ask her like to respond, and she just doesn't. She just kind of stares off, and then kind of looks at you. Yes?
I have to ask this for documentation. What kind of magic was that?
kind of chuckles to herself. I don't know. Guess we'll have to find out as well.
In the meantime, I think it's about time we pay the people in charge
Oh boy.
a visit at some point
Certainly.
about this.
Well, I did not get a dragon, but
Be sure to call you the next time we have a dragon first.
it's just gonna shrug. Well, you can't have everything in the world. And since its foot is missing, I assume you got some of it.
Like I said, we separated it, sorted out the individual parts, and they were, after that, hidden by one of our more agile and, well, long-range capable crew members.
You see, Lecter, just Adana, as you speak, she gives this towering expression towards you. Orion, come on. Don't play these games. And besides, the dragon would have been a nice boon, but nothing that platinum can replace. So tell me this, and she's gonna turn over to the pile of like where the dragon was. How does it feel?
How does what feel?
Well, you answer me that.
I did not know.
Do you see me as a monster? How much do you really know of what transpired?
Well, as far as I know, I've been created by you. I don't know the exact methods. I just know that they are revolutionary, or at least to a certain extent. And I know that I'm, at least to my current knowledge, that was a question I wanted to ask you anyway. At least to my current knowledge, I'm the newest generation.
You're neither or none of it. You're just a Luxodon who got betrayed by its own brother. Brought with your brothers on death's door. It's my responsibility to keep you alive while we try to scrap any essence of you to maintain you. For what reason, I don't really know. For what reason I was given the charge to take care of all of you, I don't really know.
I'm not sure I'm capable of following this.
Ask simple questions and I'll give simple answers. No need to complicate it.
Well, what am I?
Straight to the point, you are you. You're no longer Orion. You're not a Warforged. You're an essence of one creature fused together with another to maintain some sort of resemblance of your past self. Your memories, your past, your experience, any perception you might get from them are just side effects. The true you is the one that you're walking, feeling. Orion, from my account, never knew Arcana. Quite disliked it. But look at you. You can see she kind of nudges to herself a bit sheepishly, just kind of looks away completely towards your location. I'll be heading off then. Take care, Orion. She just kind of dissipates.
My name is Lecter.
Oh. It's been over 3 hours. Do you think we should call it? Oh wait, no, Omnius.
Theoretically, we still have to finish that. Yeah.
I've been back since I posted my memes.
Yes. So,
Okay.
Omnius, I
Memes
gave you,
make things
I
better.
gave you a DM.
Oh, that was before. Okay. My apologies. Oh, wow, that was 30 minutes before I had my little tantrum.
Yeah.
Okay. I like this. This is good to know.
So it's up to you to decide what you found out. What,
I'm gonna send you one. Well, can I attempt to, like, be teleport with it? Not a short, like 5 feet, just to see if it'll go.
it goes with you.
Okay, so you're not limited. Interesting. I'm gonna try to figure out what it would need for me to be able to, leave it and not have it, starve or whatnot. But for now, we're gonna leave it there and go back to the group.
You go back to the group and you see the dragon is missing.
Which part of the group?
Actually, no. I'm gonna take it. It's how big is it? Is it so big that it can't be on the ship?
No, it's a lot bigger than it's proportionate to the rest, but it's no bigger than, say, a dog, like a small wolf or cub of a bear.
Just what the fuck are you doing?
I'm gonna bring my new pet back to the ship.
Right.
That sounds interesting, doesn't it?
Oh my fucking god. Kilrai, you're on the ship, you're chilling, you're minding your own business,
Yep.
you're reading a book, and then Omnius flops, and what you see is a bastardization of a squirrel. You see a squirrel a size of a dog.
Any other interesting defining features?
And its coloration is also messed up, as you know what a squirrel looks like. This one has this darker shade of gray, and that looks like it looks like on the brink of rotting, despite the fact that it looks completely healthy and unfazed by the current situation. Also, it does not have any it doesn't have any coloration in its eyes. It's all single pearly white, and its teeth are really sharp and looks quite a lot more than you would think.
Yeah, so I've discovered a thing, Kilrai.
Mhm.
Reincarnate. A little bit more complicated than I thought it was going to be.
How many scrolls was that?
Although this was just one. One very unfortunate squirrel.
Oh,
Looked like one.
Not really sure I want to pursue this line of experimentation much further.
To
Put it
hear
out of
that.
misery?
What was that?
Put it out of misery?
I'm not entirely sure it's in misery.
no, it looks like a normal squirrel. It's a large squirrel. It looks like a fucking parasite, like an abyssal fiend, but it's
Not
chilling.
entirely sure I want to make any more of these, but I wonder what Lecter would say about this. He might appreciate it.
Are you gonna just go and
Let's go.
show off every single creature and like every single party member the creature? Just like, hey, look what I made.
Xana already left, right?
Yes, the dragon is no more.
Well, I mean, the dragon left, but was Xana? Yeah, that's right.
Xana
She already did.
left. After
Oh, yeah.
conversation.
Xana is the
Oh,
dragon.
sure, my new pet.
You just
Hey,
see
go show everyone else.
you just see this fucking 4 foot tall squirrel that looks like fucking Death Incarnate. Looks like a fucking creepy pasta image.
Time to go back to reading my book.
All right, I'm gonna go show. Oh, let's see. Where's Rog at?
Rock technically is catching under his desk, but he's muted himself and also deafened himself. But yeah,
Okay, well,
Just at him, he'll awaken.
Lecter and Ken, I'm gonna go show you my new toy, pet, experiment.
How much of the lore have I undiscovered?
oh boy. I'll tell you in the DMs because it's a bit. It's a fucking woozy. It's a fucking
Gets a
woozy.
30-page Google document.
You have no idea. Copy and paste. But yeah,
Add to document.
I think
He said there's enough lore for me to sit there for days.
yes. Unironically, yes. So I think we're gonna call it because 3 hours 20 minutes.
With the...
Cronin squirrel.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Perfect.
I've never
We
watched
get
Rick and
it
Morty,
with-
but what the hell is this?
Uh,
Oh god. Anyway.
Oh, that episode. Yes.
So we're gonna call it.
I'd say so.
I guess so.
So you got exactly
Yeah.
15 seconds to say whatever the fuck you want.
The search for the ship continues! Till next week.
Dragon
I'll
thieves.
most likely be sitting down and
And a
reading
mutated
more
squirrel.
lore.
Ah,
Good thing we have a dragon slayer with us to get more dragons, dragon bodies.
yeah.
And an anti-Kirai that we know under the name of Fang.
And